listening to the Scoop Slam Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Scoop Slam Podcast. We have returned from Atlanta, and today we're going to be talking about Bad Blood as we were live in the arena, which was a great experience, speaking for the both of us. And we got some other things to talk about, Wrestle Dream predictions. We got our champ contender cut and lots of other things to get into. But before we get too far into it, my partner on the other end of the line, the co-host of the Scoop Slam Podcast, the historian of the Scoop Slam Podcast, he can still feel the mana flowing through him. It's Ryan.
Yo, Micah, electricity flowing through me. It's good to be here, back with you, Scoop Slam Podcast, and we're ready to talk about some Bad Blood, huh?
We're live, pal.
Yeah, we had boots on the ground in Atlanta, GA.
All in all, I thought it was an easy trip. First time in the State Farm Arena, so getting out was a nightmare. Getting there was fine.
Yeah, it was the former Omni. I think they didn't they destroy that and they built the State Farm Arena right there on top of it?
I think so, because that hotel, like you said, was called the Omni Hotel.
The CNN Tower.
Yeah, and then the Georgia Dome is like where Mercedes-Benz Stadium is now. The Georgia Dome is like to the right of that, or it was to the right of that. It's all been in that area somehow.
Yeah, great, good arena, really, really good arena.
Yeah,
remind me of the Smoothie King Center we went to in New Orleans.
Yeah, and the seats. Ooh, I can't tell you about what row or anything we were on, but just let me say, the seats that we had, probably the best seats in the house, aside from being like front row or something.
Yeah,
you know,
gotta gatekeep these.
Yeah, I can't be giving out all the secrets now, but if we go back to State Farm Arena, I know exactly where I'm buying. But getting out of there, nightmare. Waited an hour in the parking lot, but the area is not sketchy, so I'll take that as a win too, considering some of the arenas we've been to. Again, looking at you, Smoothie King Center.
Oh, come on.
What? I mean, I'm just saying.
The arena was fine, just the outside was a little.
Well, yeah, that's the part you got to worry about.
Well, that's beside. But what about the arena, that old arena in Nashville we went to? That was a dump.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the worst one, like the worst arena state that we've been to.
Oh, I waited. You said what?
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I waited two hours, felt like, for popcorn there, man. And they had one popcorn machine in the building.
Jesus. And then you risked it by getting popcorn in Atlanta.
Hey, that popcorn was trash, doing Atlanta. Do better with popcorn.
Yeah, but it was bottomless, so I really got my money's worth with the bottomless soda because that's my thing. I will drink a freaking horse amount of water, but
yeah, you tried to go for your refill of soda and we lost you.
Look, I thought y'all veered right and left me, so I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna catch up, and then I just like took off trying to catch up to y'all because I didn't see y'all. And yeah,
bro, you sprinted to the soda machine when the event was over. You got your soda, and you went the opposite direction where we were waiting on you. We go outside the arena, looking around for Micah. We don't see Micah, but we did find a little Kevin Owens laying foots in Cody Rhodes, though.
We did. We caught the tail end of that, but that's a really cool.
I thought that.
Yeah. Plus, like, I wonder how they planned that, because they had to know that people would be able to see it, like from our vantage point, I guess.
I think they were shooting the press conference in that area, so people were waiting on the outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
it's really inventive, I guess, like to let an angle completely be online for the week, and then they get to SmackDown, and then they're gonna show. What happened, but still, it was really cool.
I also believe that I think that was the area Rock cut his promo on.
It was.
Yeah, so they had a lot going on right there. And then Kevin Owens pulls up in a Maserati? Is that the car you picture Kevin Owens driving?
Nah, he seems like a Tahoe kind of guy.
I was gonna say, he feels like a truck kind of guy. Maserati.
Well, maybe yeah, I don't know. I have no segue. Maybe they'll keep running more angles like this after the show because I mean the internet was buzzing about it, or at least Twitter was.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's very surprising to me. There was a huge crowd of people right there. Yeah, I think it made it feel more real. That's always a
Yeah,
good thing.
yeah, and I mean it wasn't like obviously the Kevin Owens turn has been kind of building, and we all probably knew it was coming, but like nobody expected this heel turn.
And Cody Rhodes did deserve this beatdown. Let's be honest. He's been a bad friend. KO's been battling the bloodline for 4 years. I mean, Cody Rhodes just forgives and forgets everything that Roman and the bloodline did to Kevin Owens, even though Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes supposedly friends. It's not right, bro. And Cody Rhodes didn't he take a shower, bro? He didn't even take his gear off. What kind of man is that?
Some dude gave me the nastiest stank eye whenever I said that Cody deserved it. Like while we were watching Kevin Owens video, he said, "Man, why does Cody deserve that?" And I said, "Well, I was just piggybacked off you because you were standing there, or maybe you said it. I don't even remember."
I did.
He's a
bad friend, bro. He deserved that beatdown.
I mean, ain't no complaints. But
tell me why I'm telling lies.
I think Cody is definitely going to be one of those. I mean, obviously everything's reminiscent of Dusty, but I think he will never really have a true friend, and everybody eventually turns on him.
He's got Pharaoh, his dog.
It's getting old. Probably it may not even live to this run.
Oh man, you say his dog's gonna die?
Well, Randy is known to be cold-blooded.
Are you saying Randy's gonna punt kick his dog?
If it happened, I wouldn't be opposed.
Speaking of dogs, Larry's owner, CM Punk, wrestled Drew McIntyre in the opener of this fine PLE, Micah, did he?
He did, but before we get to that.
Oh, okay.
We got some champ contender cut once again. Fan favorite. Yeah. And I got you one, Ryan, that kind of goes into our Bad Blood, our predictions, and then it ended up turning true. But Ryan, today I got 3 for you. It's 3 of the same person, but different eras.
Okay.
So Ryan, champ contender cut. We got Nation of Domination Rock.
Yeah.
Authority Rock.
Authority. So that's the final boss?
No.
Corporation.
Corporation Rock. There we go. I knew what I meant. I just didn't pick out the right word. Or Final Boss Rock.
So champ contender cut, Final Boss Rock, Nation of Domination Rock, or Corporation Rock.
Yeah.
You got a champ, Final Boss Rock, contender Corporation Rock, and you got to cut Nation of Domination Rock.
Really?
Yeah, I think you got to, bro. Rock, yes, he is older, but this is true final form right here, Micah. He's been the promos he cut as the final boss, the aura that he gives off as the final boss, the electricity that flows through the arena when the final boss entrance happens.
Still feel it,
bro. So yeah, he's my champ. Corporation Rock was that was great too, man. But well, yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, contender, Corporate Rock, and then cut Nation of Domination Rock. Nation of Domination Rock was good, but it wasn't. It was still Rock trying to figure things out. He would say stuff, but some stuff didn't stick. Some stuff did. Uh yeah. Yeah, we're cutting Nation of Domination.
See, I thought it may be a hard decision for you because I know 97 is your favorite year. And so
It was
that
my
kind
favorite
of,
rock.
well, it's kind of a gang war type
Yeah.
era. So I thought, well, leader of the nation, you may lean more towards him. And then I also thought about including Hollywood Rock, but then I thought, well, Hollywood and Final Boss are kind of the same.
Well, no. They're a little different. A little different.
Would you put Hollywood over Corporation?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Hollywood Rock, even though it only lasted 3 months when you look at it, was Rock's best version by far. Just his look, his promos he was cutting, bro. He had that little mini feud with Hurricane that was great. He had that feud with Steve Austin, great. The mini feud with Goldberg. Bro, Rock was doing his best work, and then he left while he was doing his best work, bro.
Would you have put that over Final Boss?
Yeah, I would have put him as my champ. He would have been my top three. It would have been Hollywood Rock as 1, 2, and 3. Because ain't nobody touching Hollywood Rock, bro. The Rock concert, man. We had the Rock. That was the birth of the Rock concert, Micah.
That only lasted for 3 months.
He came back in February. He was gone by April.
Oh my God.
Yeah, his last match as Hollywood Rock was against Goldberg at Backlash.
That's crazy because it feels like, I guess you've seen probably every clip from it then, because it seems like it lasts so much longer because people just recycle all the clips.
That's how you know something's really good, man. It only lasted 4 months and people still talking about it. That's his best best word is Hollywood Rock.
The theme song is gas too.
Oh man, I was so happy when you brought it back this year.
Oh yeah.
98 early, right before he turned heel and joined the Corporation Rock. That was good too. Probably when he left the corporation, when he had the $5,000 shirts, and that was some good Rock too. Man, Rock is my favorite. This is a tough one for me.
That's why I knew you would know all the eras and like which you prefer, just because not I don't know, a guy like Cena, he has one just concurrent gimmick the entire time. But Rock in a different way reminds me a lot of Punk, where it's like there's different versions of Punk and they're all so good that it's really hard to pick what's the best. Like, I can't fault anybody for saying Straight Edge Society, but then Best in the World Punk, was the top dog. At the same time, old vet Punk, just trying to come back and prove that he still got it on this run he's on right now, still extremely good. So, that's a tough one.
And you see Rock and Punk, guys like that. Triple H too was really good. Guys like that can reinvent themselves, and it feels like a completely different gimmick, and it works so well, man. Rock and Punk. Triple H was like, how many personas did Triple H have? You had the Blue Blood Triple H, you had the DX Triple H, the corporate Triple H, the game, the corporate Triple H when he was with Stephanie. And Triple H, he's reinvented himself. Oh, the Authority Triple H.
Yeah, Evolution.
Yeah. Evolution Triple H. Yeah, there you go.
People hate on Triple H, but I don't get the hate, man. I love Triple H. Like, I don't care what anyone says. He's one of the greatest of all time. And sure, is he a carny? Yeah. But they all are. So, look at it. The dude was pretty much on top for a solid 20 years. Always had a pretty interesting gimmick. And I don't know. He passed the airport test too. Like, you look at him, that's a wrestler. He always had the cool entrances and looked like he belonged with a belt. And that's more than most can say.
I think people are still a little heated about his Reign of Terror era. Triple H. People still hold that against him. But he's done a lot of good stuff as far as how the starting NXT and booking that and baby facing the whole entire company when he took over
Yeah.
Vince. So I think Triple H has redeemed himself in the eyes of the fans for the most part.
So Ryan, who you got for me? Champ contender cut.
Champ contender cut, Micah. 3 matches that are very different and they are very near and dear to your heart. I got Mick Foley versus Edge, WrestleMania 22. CM
Okay.
Punk versus John Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. And we got Rock versus Hogan, WrestleMania 18. What are we doing here? Champ contender cut.
Okay, so repeat them out for me just one more time.
Okay. We got Edge versus Mick Foley, WrestleMania 22. CM Punk versus John Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. We got Rock versus Hogan, WrestleMania 18.
Oh, buddy.
What you got?
Champ.
Very different matches here too.
Yeah, because obviously we got Edge and McFoley hardcore. Punk and Cena is just a straight wrestling match, and Hogan Rock is just aura. I know that word's overused now, but just it's solely an aura match.
Yeah, you turn the volume down, that match stinks, but you have it on high, and it's a 5-star classic.
For me, Champ, I gotta go Punk versus Cena, Money in the Bank 2011. That was the first match to really open my eyes to how good Punk was.
Yeah.
And as a kid, I bought the fake. I thought he was going to leave with the belt.
I think everybody did at that point.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but I was like 8 or 9, and so I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen?
I got work, bro. I was 13. I was like, there's no way they're going to give the title to CM Punk if he's about to leave. Sure enough, they gave it to him, man.
He's got a weird way of doing things whenever nothing is official.
Yeah. And it was crazy because that match had everything that you would want out of a big-time classic match. It had the story element with CM Punk's contract coming up, him airing his grievances live on air. You had the hometown hero in Chicago, the best city for wrestling. I don't care what anybody says. Chicago is the best city and has the best arena for wrestling. And they made magic, bro. 35 minutes, the first 5-star match in WWE in the new millennium. So yeah, bro, it was as good as it can get.
Absolutely. And I mean, there's nothing I would change about it. And I think that's probably the highest praise that I can give.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I would have Punk beat him clean.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I just mean like it's their best match, and they had so many good ones after that. Like the one on Raw, in 2013. Like they were just two of the same person, but different colors, if that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
the ring. And there's, for whatever reason, in like wrestling generations, there's always like two guys who just fit each other. And it was like Hogan, Macho Man in the 80s. Like those two just, it made sense and everything worked. And their story was, to me, the best story of the 80s. In the 90s, you've got Austin Rock, who just ran it back and ran it back and ran it back. 2000s. There's a couple different directions you could go. HBK Cena is one. Batista Triple H is one. Taker's in there somewhere. Like there's a couple guys that just stick with each other. But Punk and Cena in the 2010s is really the one that I grew up on. And they never had a bad match.
It's basically Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
It worked so well, bro. I don't want to hear the geeks online saying that Randy Orton and John Cena are the best rivalry, or John Cena's best rival was Edge. Bro, get out of here. John Cena's best rival, best matches he's had, period, was with CM Punk.
Yeah.
That was the combination right there.
So, contender. I gotta go Edge and Mick Foley, WrestleMania 22.
Wow. Okay.
And that's
Great
probably
match.
just a personal one to me, but that match is probably like the match that really hooked me on wrestling because I had a greatest matches of WrestleMania or whatever. And I just remember like that was my favorite one on the DVD. And
That was a spectacle of a match too.
yeah,
The first
especially.
time Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, especially for WWE.
Yeah.
And there's so much good about the match to me. Everything is used well.
It was the first time I can remember fire being in a WWE ring.
Yeah.
And they saved the fire for the finish, which I appreciate. Yeah, bro. The spectacle of the thumbtacks, the barbed wire, Lita's involvement, everything was done well in that match. It kind of got a little tainted after they made up after like a month and then they started teaming up. I didn't like that in particular, but Mick Foley was probably one of the best guys you could put in the ring with a young up and coming superstar at that time. Because he did the same thing for Randy.
Yeah.
I think 2 years before, put Randy on the map. He did the same thing for Triple H 2 years before that.
Yep.
In the street fight match at Royal Rumble. So yeah, man, Mick Foley doesn't get enough credit for making guys.
And even Foley, like going way back, to me, his first match, which kind of legitimized him in WWF, but it also kind of gave Shawn's reign and edge in '96. In Your House Mind Games, really good match.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah, Mick Foley, he don't get enough credit for the matches he's put on over his career.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that one just means something to me just because it always stuck with me as a kid. And like I said, all the stuff is used well and sold, and the fire is just, it's an insane spot. And I got to cut Hogan Rock. I love that match, but I think part of it is kind of what happens to the NWO after the fact. Which it kind of plays in turn, because I mean, Hogan does need to go babyface, obviously, after this. I don't know. It depends on the day. Today, I may say Edge and Mick Foley. Tomorrow, I may say Hogan Rock. It's been a while since I've watched both of them, I will say, but
I do appreciate how in the match, how much of a pro Hogan and Rock are. Because they didn't lay that match out like how it was supposed to go.
Yeah.
They flipped it in the match when the crowd would not boo Hogan. And so Hogan started playing babyface, bro. He was hulking up in the match. That's a skill set that a lot of modern wrestlers do not have. The way you can just go with what the crowd is dictating. Like don't run with the same match if the crowd isn't behind you, bro. I mean, you have to play with your strengths as a baby face and the heel. If the crowd's giving you heel treatment, I mean, play up the heel tactics.
Oh yeah. In today's day and age, the match would have been the exact same, and you know, it wouldn't have been as memorable had it played out the way that they had intended, which I feel like happens a lot in today's day and age, because how many times do we see a match, namely in AEW, not to just throw them under the bus, but where it's like, okay, the iron is hot, strike now, and they should go to the finish, or this should be the finish, and then it drags on for another 5, 6, 8 minutes.
And during that WrestleMania match with Rock and Hogan, man, the crowd electricity was just on another level.
Yeah. So
and you had the GOAT JR on commentary.
That does add to it, which they had Joey Styles on that Edge match. I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that he is JR status, but it does help.
Yeah, and JR probably had one of his best calls of all time in that Rock Hogan match when Hogan was hulking up and he dropped the leg on Rock, and JR says he beat Andre the Giant with that move, and then you get the kick out at 2, and then the crowd is just on fire, bro. I don't know if I would have cut that match, me personally.
It's hard. Now you make me want to go watch both of them, but it's been a long time, so I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It could be either or, but really good. I enjoyed that because that's hard to pick from. I feel like mine have been too easy for you.
I'm trying to cater mine to your likes right here.
Well, I went to Rock because I knew that was your favorite. Plus, it went with the Bad Blood
Oh, you
stuff,
had a
and you
weak
just
Rock.
fired that off.
Yeah, Nation of Domination Rock. That was a weak point. Man, come on. You would have put Hollywood Rock in there. I would have sweated a little more.
Okay, well, I'll bring out the big guns next week. I'll find something for you. But anyway, speaking of big guns, and as we were talking about earlier, Bad Blood we had in the first match, the opener, everybody was up for this. Hell in a Cell, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. What a bloodbath.
My God. Where do you start, Micah?
First, I would like to start with this made sense to be as violent as it was. This made sense to be in the cell. And I would put this top 3 Hell in a Cell match of all time.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people don't particularly care about Dave Meltzer or his ratings, but he did award this match 5 stars, which is deserved. And this is the first time in Dave Meltzer's scale in his match ratings that an American wrestler got a 5-star rating in 3 different decades. CM Punk is the only guy to do that. He had a 5-star match with Samoa Joe in 2004. He had the 5-star match with John Cena, and now he has a 5-star match with Drew McIntyre.
And you know what? I got to take a victory lap real quick. Because everybody called my GOAT washed. Everybody said when Punk goes to WWE, he's going to be cooked. He's going to be PG Punk. He's not going to be allowed to do what he wants to. Everybody tried to cook him over those first few promos because they weren't that good. And everybody tried to make fun of him when he got injured at the Royal Rumble. Now who's laughing? 5 stars later, match of the year later, greatest Hell in a Cell since Taker, Shawn. Who's laughing now? Because my GOAT's not washed.
They call him Fragile Phil, Micah. That's what they call him.
Well, they can eat those words along with that crow that they're eating too. And you know what? Punk for world champion next. Or we riot.
I wouldn't hate it. He has all the momentum on his side now. They saved the best match for last, as far as in this feud. Because the SummerSlam match got kind of watered down or brought down with the Seth Rollins antics, how we feel about Seth on the pod. But the second match, the strap match, was okay. I thought it was fine. But this right here, Micah, this was a classic, man. And they built. This match went 30 minutes and it built. And then the ending happened when the ending needed to happen. Yep. The crowd was at its highest.
Because we were rocking.
Oh, heck yeah. They didn't go for another 5 minutes after the beats got brought out.
No, and I feel bad for who had to follow this, but everything they brought out from under the table, they used and either used it a lot or used it in a way that's not normally performed. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, they got the toolbox. They didn't get a screwdriver, which would obviously stab into someone's head and potentially kill them. They use a wrench, which, yeah, could kill somebody, but they were just, being vicious with it. The table, ripping the leg off, using the table to stab each other, basically. I mean, not really, but just kind of hit each other in the head with it. Then slamming Drew on the knobs that hold in the table leg. Like, this is all stuff that we either don't see, have never seen, or don't see often. That's perfect.
Yeah, I agree. It felt like a ruthless aggression era Hell in a Cell match, bro. With all the blood. It was a bloodbath.
Drew, I mean, his chute got opened up by that toolbox, which is kind of crazy because I thought he bladed.
Yeah, you buying that? I don't think that happened.
I don't know.
I could have swore I seen him run over to the referee and grab something. I could be wrong, but I've been watching wrestling for a very long time, Mike. I recognize when guys are grabbing the blade from the referee, and it looked like Drew did that after the toolbox.
Well, see, that's what I remember us pointing it out.
Yeah, because Drew McIntyre ran over and kind of like crouched down in the middle of the ring after he got hit with the toolbox, and the referee came over towards him and handed him something. It looked like.
Yeah, because I remember when he came up, either me or you said, "Oh God, I think he cut too deep."
Yeah,
but I don't know. If that was a blade job, that was some serious work. Because oh my God,
he didn't hold back, and it felt like it kind of stopped for a little bit and then got worse towards the end of the match. So maybe he got double juice that night, man.
I think they definitely opened it back up, but I remember like the sharpshooter spot, which anytime somebody does that, it's reminiscent of Stone Cold, just because that's what your imagery goes to. But I mean, wow! Like you look at that spot, and it's just like Jesus. Like you could see it dripping off of his head. It was ruthless, and I hate to say this because it's probably my favorite match since Punk has come back to wrestling. I seriously would probably have to put this over the MJF dog collar match, which I loved, and I prefer that feud. But I'd have to watch these two matches back to back to tell you which one I really prefer. But as of this moment in my mind, I think I prefer the Hell in a Cell match. It just made sense, and it felt like you said, it almost feels like it ushers in a new era of WWE.
Yeah, this felt like a spectacle, man. This is the first. Oh, we know Punk bladed, right? That's okay. So this is the first time a blade's been used in a WWE ring in 15 years. I think last time was Batista versus Chris Jericho, and Batista got fined like $100,000 after he bladed.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, this felt like we're ushering into a new era in WWE. And CM Punk did interviews to the lead up of this match, and he said that he wanted to take Hell in a Cell back to its former prestige and former glory. And Punk, I think you did a good job, man.
Oh yeah. Even and I know this was the last match to get 5 stars in a cell. It was Cody and Seth, and I think that was a good match. But it didn't, to me, have the just brutal viciousness that the cells used to have. Like, I think you have the same DVD, but the Hell in a Cell DVD, when you watch the first of them, it's like, it's Taker Sean bleeds a gusher. You've got Taker Mankind, where, I mean, Jesus Christ, the extent of the human body can only, handle so much. I remember Triple H Mankind, absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Brock Taker, absolutely brutal.
God, bloodbath.
So, that is what I imagine with a Hell in a Cell. And this, to me, is the first one that's felt like that in probably, since Brock Taker era.
It's how Hell in a Cell is supposed to be. A blow-off to a big long-term blood feud. That's what we got here. We got the crescendo right here. They couldn't do anything else to each other. I hope and pray that McIntyre gets moved to another brand because I don't know if you can have these guys on the same roster anymore.
Yeah. I think that makes the most sense because, like, it just, I don't know, if you went through a feud like that with somebody, I feel like it would just make more sense for him to demand to be on a different brand. But Ryan, I gotta ask.
Yeah.
Where do you put it on the Hell in a Cell list?
Man, I've seen I think that was the 52nd Hell in a Cell in WWE history. I could be wrong.
Oh my God.
I think it was. And it's, man, 'cause we had some good ones recently. Well, I
Yeah.
don't know about good. They were okay. The Seth versus
Cody
Edge, Hell
Seth
in a
was
Cell,
good.
it was, but it just didn't have the brutality like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre had. So it was good,
Yeah.
but it wasn't Hell in a Cell good. And there's a difference here. So on that scale, this has to be number 2 to me. Number 2, maybe number 3, because Brock and Undertaker in the first Hell in a Cell they had was, that was brutal, and I really loved that match. And then you had Mankind and Taker that I'd rank maybe number 1, and Drew and CM Punk is somewhere in that mix right there, somewhere in that mix.
Yeah. It's hard. I really love the Shawn match.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
With Taker.
It was great. I just felt like Shawn sold for like 90% of the match, which it's the Undertaker. Of course he's gonna take most of the match, but it just seemed like Shawn just getting, beat down. He was getting his tail whooped for 90% of the match. I don't know.
Yeah. You're not wrong. But I don't know. Like you said, that's what Shawn's good at. So I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I'd probably say just random 3, not necessarily ranking. Shawn, Taker, Triple H, Cactus Jack, Punk, Drew.
Wow.
And then maybe Brock, Taker.
Mankind, Taker?
Yeah. Yeah, that's somewhere in there. But you also got to think about Taker Triple H at WrestleMania, which it's a different kind of cell match, but that match is great.
I don't think it has the same rewatchability like the other ones do, because I did love that match. At the night it happened, I ordered the pay-per-view. Well, I say I did. Paris did, but still, that was a great match that had a lot of emotion. But when you go back and watch it, bro, I don't know. It just
didn't hit the same.
It just didn't hit the same. No, it didn't have the same emotion to it. But they did have one of the best kickouts in the street history.
Oh yeah. So if you take nothing else away from all of this about Punk and Drew, I was absolutely over the moon about being there live for it, and glad that it didn't stink. And also, I don't think they could have done anything better, honestly.
One more thing, Micah. Are you excited for the potential Seth Rollins CM Punk feud? Would they be able to top the CM Punk Drew McIntyre feud?
That's the problem at this point to me. I think had everything worked out how it was supposed to, and we got Seth and Punk first and then Drew and Punk, it would have been 10 times better, because now I don't think I'm as invested in Seth versus Punk. I just don't. I know it's not going to be as good as this, and I know it's probably not going to be great because I don't really like Seth at this point. So it just kind of feels like a waste of time.
They can play off a lot of real life stuff here, though, Micah. Because if you think about it, Seth Rollins he's CM Punk if CM Punk took a different path, because they both started their career in ROH World Champion. They were both I think CM Punk, was CM Punk the first ECW? No, okay, so they were champs in the developmental brand, OVW for CM Punk and NXT for Rollins. And then CM Punk went off and did his own thing on the main roster. Where was I going with this, Mike? I wrote this whole thought and diatribe down, Micah, and I lost my train of thought.
Well, Punk was WWE champion at the same time that Rollins was NXT champion, and
no, they both won Money in the Bank.
That and the Shield debuted for Punk.
Yeah. So a lot of real life stuff that they can play off of here, man. And you weren't locked into their promo battles when Punk first came back. They had some good stuff.
I mean, I guess that's true. It'll just be a different kind of feud, which is fine. You're
tired of Seth.
Well, yeah, and it just put a bad taste in my mouth whenever he came back at SummerSlam, because it felt like, get out of the way, man. We're trying to see this other feud. And so I don't know that those feelings are necessarily gone for Seth.
It does seem like he's trying to be a little more serious nowadays. He didn't come out with the flamboyant outfit after he got tsunami'd 6 times. He came out with all black and he was serious. He was talking about Bronson Reed.
We'll see.
You're not sold.
Nah, not yet. I need a couple promo battles.
Are they gonna rush into it, or is that gonna be WrestleMania?
I don't know, because what I'm hearing online is the plan for Survivor Series is Punk and Gunther. So, like, does Punk take that win and then he carries it into Mania? Then do you have Seth beat him at Mania? Because that stinks. But then, like, when does Punk get the belt? There's a lot of variables. I could see it just being a feud to get them into Mania, and then they kind of go separate ways at the road to WrestleMania. But then again, I don't know. The way Triple H books, this could very well last until WrestleMania.
I can see it. I can see it being the world title program for Raw during WrestleMania season.
But do you have Punk beat Gunther?
I don't think that would hurt Gunther at all.
But where does Gunther go from there?
Well, he can fight his childhood hero Goldberg.
Hey, I do not hate the prospect of that. Not at all.
You flip-flopped on Goldberg again, man?
I think just for one more match against a guy like Gunther who could probably have a good match with him, I wouldn't hate it.
Ain't no way they're going to have a match, bro. They're going to have like a 30-minute spear or jackhammer. I don't know if we're going to get like a... If you're expecting headlocks, man, I don't think we're going to get that in that match.
I mean, I don't think we're going to get that, but what I'm saying is like, maybe the idea of that match is interesting, and then they'll actually lock up, and then it's like, oh, why did I want this again?
Yeah.
But the idea right now, I'm okay with it.
Can he still hit the jackhammer? That's the
question
we all need answers. I did see somebody saying that Braun Breaker can be like a surrogate for Goldberg, because they do have history, Braun Breaker and Goldberg. So maybe we can get that. Maybe Gunther can squash Goldberg, and then he go back and tries to beat up Goldberg some more, and then Braun Breaker comes out. We can get that for Mania. Can you see that?
The match I wouldn't hate. I highly doubt Goldberg's coming back to get squashed, though.
What? You want Goldberg to come back to do a 15-minute classic?
No, I'm just saying in all probability, it's going to be his last match. I highly doubt he's going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to job out, instead of being like, no, I'll just sit on the couch if that's what you're going to bring me back to do.
Well, that's usually the thing you do when you're on your way out. Sting was the anomaly. You go out on your back. if you're a retiring legend, I mean, Flair did it, Shawn did it, not Taker. I don't think Taker did, but still, man, usually guys look up at the lights for the last match.
See, I think that's a foregone thing. I don't think that happens much anymore. Or like I don't think that's gonna happen in this future. I think it's kind of like the retirement tour that NBA players and like MLB players started doing. I think Sting is the new wave.
I don't like that. You should pass your heat or your overness over to the next guy by having the next guy beat you.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I think from like a fan perspective, if I pay to go watch Cena's last match and Cena loses, that kind of stings.
Yeah, but okay, when Michael Jordan came out of retirement and we had a one-on-one game, LeBron James, and he beat LeBron. What does that say about LeBron?
Well, I don't know. I see your point, but like,
Yeah.
I highly doubt Cena's going to lose his last match.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know about that. We'll remind me in 15 months.
Yeah. Golly. That still feels like a long time, but all in all, we'll see where they go from here. Hopefully Punk goes to a world title-esque line and Drew goes to the other brand because I think that would work. But after this, and we're probably going to fly through the middle of this, considering we had some tragic events happen Saturday that need no further mentioning. For the WWE Women's Championship, Bayley versus Nia Jax.
Oh, this should have been on SmackDown. We should have got a ladder match here that they did on SmackDown.
I agree. But they needed the Tongas for the main event. Well, they still could have done a run-in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Couldn't find any other Tongans and Fatus anywhere. You had one Fatu outside the building.
No.
Zilla Fatu. Yeah. We saw Zilla Fatu, everybody.
The people online about Zilla, and like, I mean no disrespect, the people online glaze him. Like, they want him to be in this Bloodline feud so bad. The dude ain't got but like less than 40 matches.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ready for a feud like the Bloodline. But people online are like, man, Zilla's going to show up. Nah, I don't think he is.
He looks a lot smaller in person, too. I thought I was a fan.
Well, the camera adds 15 pounds, and
6 inches of height.
They could put an armband on him like Adam Cole.
You know what? That might just work, man.
Cinema. Well, all I really remember about this is Tiffany trying to cash in and she failed, and Bayley hulked up and almost hit a power bomb that turned into probably the worst Hurricane Rana I've ever seen in my life.
That tip was made.
Yeah, it was there, just like the match. Still my women's wrestler of the year, basically by default, because who else is there?
Didn't I see you hit the bathroom during this match? This is your women's wrestler of the year. You took a
No.
bathroom
I went to the bathroom at the start of the Bloodline match. I went to refill my drink during this match.
Okay, well, there you go.
Well, who else? Again, when we did the mid-year awards, who else is even in the running? Liv Morgan? She's had one feud, and we're about to get to why her match stunk. And then Rhea really hasn't done anything. She was hurt, and she's lost pretty much the whole year. CEO?
Yeah, I just Micah?
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I thought we're still live, pal.
Oh, we're live, pal.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm just giving you a hard time, man. You didn't go refill your beverage during this match.
Yeah, I had to refill it because I was so locked in.
Okay, all right.
After this, again, another it was just kind of here. If the event that shall not be named didn't happen, I probably again would have thought a little more fondly about the middle of this pay-per-view. But I really could not think about anything else. But Damian Priest versus Finn Balor.
Whoa. Finn Balor, you mean? I don't think Finn's ever won a professional wrestling match, bro. I can't remember. Has he won any?
Well, he is a tag champion, so he had
Are
to
you
win
sure?
that.
Are we sure about that? Did he win that?
I believe so. He came out with it.
What if we had Finn Balor versus Shinsuke Nakamura?
Oh,
What do you
God.
think would happen? Would it just be a no contest? Because both guys cannot pin anybody.
A black hole would open up because two things can never exist.
Okay, you're right.
While you're giving your dissertation of this, I'm gonna look and try and find the last time Finn won a singles match on TV.
Okay, a singles match or a PLE match? Give me that.
Okay.
Was it him versus Edge in that I Quit match? Was that last singles match he's won on PLE?
I'm just looking for TV at this point, and I'm in May.
Finn Balor.
Oh my God!
It goes back, huh? Okay. I think the Judgment Day have the worst flunkies in the history of factions because they can't get any. They can't 3v1 Damian Priest, really.
Well,
how we coming over there, Mike?
he's big. I mean, you look at JD and you look at Finn, you look at Smo Joe and you look at Kurt Angle. They're simply not fit to challenge a man like Damian Priest.
Priest is 2010 John Cena, and the Judgment Day were the Nexus here.
Man, you just made me have a sour taste in my mouth about the Nexus getting squashed. All right, I found it.
Okay, where are we at?
The last singles match that Finn Balor has won on a televised event, unless I missed something, just take a guess for me, Ryan.
September 2023.
Oh my God.
Is that right?
Yeah, throw me a date out there just to see.
Okay, September 13th.
September 15th, 2023.
Finn
Balor defeats AJ Styles on SmackDown.
What? When did that happen?
I don't know. That's insane
AJ
poll,
heel?
though, that you said September 2023.
So you tell me it's been a year?
Oh, yeah.
13 months since he televised match. Oh, my God. Yeah,
That is
about
insane. Right. But we're going to keep digging here, ladies and gentlemen, because we're going to look for a PLE.
Bro, so when he won that Universal title in 2016, that may have been the last meaningful match he's won since then. 8 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's been NXT champion a couple times, and he's won.
Is that a meaningful title, though?
Sure. I mean, it was then. I wasn't watching NXT, but people online really liked it.
Now, were those people, did they not watch the show? Because the show got nuked. If I was watching AEW.
Sidebar here. Finn's last pay-per-view win was Extreme Rules 2022, where he defeated Edge in an I Quit match that went 30 minutes.
Wow, that felt like it. I think I just said that though. Yeah, he beat Edge on PLE. So
how the crap did you know both of those off the top of your head?
The first one, I guessed, the September one, I didn't know that for sure. But I remember him beating Edge in that I Quit match, and then Edge just beat every member of the Judgment Day and left the company after that. I remember that.
Then squashed him at Mania.
Yeah, and Hell in the Cell. The Demon at that. He was the Demon. He painted up. He painted up for that match. Still got beat.
Jesus. He did team with Hulk Hogan.
Well, there you go.
So yeah, I mean, this match was here. We got to see Carlito. That was cool.
Oh yeah. Very
No
cool.
pun intended.
I see what you did.
Ryan, I'm still looking just because I had to know. I'm
What
in
you looking
2020.
What are we looking for now?
I'm looking for his before that his last PLE win.
Wow. It goes back that far, huh?
Yes, I'm back in his 2020 NXT run, and I'm not counting that because it's not main roster.
He won the. No, he didn't. He lost the title. I was gonna say he won the IC title at Mania, but he lost that. He beat. No, that wasn't him. Didn't he beat Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania?
What year?
Was that 2020?
I don't think so. If it was, I didn't see it.
Maybe that was Aleister Black that beat Bobby Lashley.
Let's check it out.
Remember
WrestleMania. Which one was that? 37?
36.
Yeah, you're right. WrestleMania 36. No, I thought Bobby lost to wasn't it like Apollo almost an Apollo Creed. Apollo Crews?
Not Cruz face Big E at Mania, I think.
Bobby Lashley was not on the card.
Really?
No. You're right. It was Aleister Black. I'm sorry. I just missed him.
Okay, yeah. I remember it was some spooky guy. I didn't know if it was Finn as the demon or Aleister Black. I didn't matter. So you couldn't find anything for Finn Balor? Huh?
No, but I did find the last pay-per-view match that he won before the I Quit match. Intercontinental Championship 2-on-1 handicap match. Finn Balor defeats Bobby Lashley and Leo Rush in 2019 in February.
Wow. Is that legit? That cage match?
If I can't figure, if I missed one, somebody fact check me. But Finn Balor, outside of that I Quit match, has not won a PLE match in a singles match in 5 years. Tell me why we're supposed to care about this guy.
He signed 2 contracts since then. He ain't won PLE match.
Jesus. And people wonder why I'm not big on Finn. He don't win anything ever. I've never had a reason to care for him.
He's won 1 match since he came back to watching WWE.
Yeah. Other than like tag matches, but I mean, Jesus, you've got a whole group of flunkies and Liv Morgan.
This is where he needed that win. This could have, I don't know if it would have legitimized them, but it would have done something for the perception of Finn Balor. Right now, it's just dead in the water, man. I want this feud to be over. I don't want to see these guys wrestle anymore.
Yeah. Well, speaking of feuds that probably should be over, the following match was Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley with Dominic Mysterio in a shark cage. I was intrigued to see this because I really didn't know what the finish was going to be, and it's kind of an interesting stipulation that we don't see that often. The finish, which was apparently botched, was extremely poorly executed.
I think Raquel came out a little too early.
Well, I heard, and that may have even also played into it. I heard that the ref felt like he saw too much, so he made an executive decision to call it because he was like, I can't just stand here and be like an idiot. Take
He
notes,
did that.
AEW.
He did that though. I don't know if you ever, because we were there live, ladies and gentlemen. But I don't know if you watched the clip, Micah. But Raquel attacked Rhea right there in front of the ref, and the ref had to turn around like an NPC and pretend like he didn't see it. But he couldn't let the second one slide when Raquel lined her up for the whatever Raquel calls her finish, the Chicano bomb or something like that. He
Yeah,
couldn't let that one slide.
the Raquelizer.
Okay, yeah. She hit her with that. And the referee couldn't just stand there and watch that. And I think that's why Raquel put Liv on top of Rhea to make the pin, because that was going to be planned all along. And they just were like, well, forget it. I mean, just do it give her the visual pin. So I believe it was supposed to be Raquel hits Rhea with her finish, and then Liv gets the pin to retain the title. But yeah, botched very badly. I think it was Raquel's fault, but crowd did not care about this match. People care about Boo and Dom, but
yeah, I mean that I think we were pointing that out too. Like, just everybody just wanted to boo him whenever he was doing something in the cage or they put him on the screen. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think both of these women play their role very well. I think Liv is a very good bimbo cheater.
Hey now,
heel. It's a character. I'm not indicting her personality.
called her Jezebel, Micah. Come on now.
Her character is a bimbo, is it not?
No, she's just in love with Daddy Dom.
Is bimbo not socially acceptable anymore?
Oh, you watch your mouth, man.
Well, I apologize.
All
She's
the bimbos out
a
there. Like, come on now.
Listen, she stole
right.
Rhea's man, and she's good in that role. But I just don't have any desire to see this anymore. Like, obviously, Rhea's not going to try to get Dom back. So, move along, go to something else. I don't know which one of them should have the belt, but I don't really know where Liv goes after this.
I don't think anybody knew who Raquel was when she came out there. I think I was the only one. Oh, that's Raquel. I was the only one in our section that said anything. Nobody moved.
There was no pop.
No.
Exactly. No pop.
I guess you go with Rhea and Raquel as your next feud, but Liv, who does she have to feud with, bro?
I don't know.
Is she just gonna be Dom's valet, and she's not gonna be defending the title?
Well, I feel like we looked at the roster. I mean, I'll pull it up again, but
maybe she can feud with the Bird Girl, Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, but is anybody clamoring to see that?
Not me. The loud local minority online that loves women's wrestling eat it up, but yeah,
I mean,
bro, I'm not excited.
I think Lyra's talented.
She's not at that level though.
No.
I don't think anybody on that show's at that level besides Rhea.
No. I mean, I'll go down the women's roster. They got Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. They got Asuka, but Asuka's hurt. Dakota Kai, who's hurt.
Again?
Yeah, I think she... Don't quote me. I think she tore ACL or something. I'm not 100% sure.
What's up with all these ladies getting hurt, bro? In WWE and in AEW.
I don't know. They got a lot on the shelf right now in terms of the women's division, which, again, that probably plays into the fact of why it kind of feels like, well, who the crap do you pick for Women's Wrestler of the Year? Ivy Nile, she's not ready for that spot. Io Sky, but it's also a heel. Kairi Sane, Katana Chance, and Caden Carter, who are tag teams, so they're not going to split them up. Kiana James is hurt. Maxine Dupree, Natalia, Raquel, Rhea, Scarlett, Shayna, Zoe, Sonya. There is nobody for her to feud with.
Yeah. When you spell it out like that, I mean, we'll see. Triple H has his hands full right here.
I mean, do you think they pull somebody from NXT?
Oh, who's at that level in NXT right now?
Well, I wouldn't hate Roxanne.
Let me ask you something. Do you think that Triple H books the women's division better than when Vince McMahon was there? I don't think he does.
I'm gonna say something, and I don't think he books the women's division better than Vince. But also, wrestling is really hot right now.
There you go.
And what's not hot? Women's wrestling. Like, I'm not saying that they don't deserve their place, but there's the upper echelon of the Rheas and the Biancas that deserve everything, and people love them.
I think he booked Rhea Ripley the best by far. And after that, who else do we have that he's booked well in the women's division?
Nia.
Okay, yeah, Nia. Jade.
Io. Jade.
Okay, yeah. Those solid.
But it kind of feels like he just focuses on the champ. He never focuses on the contender. Where, like, that's why Raw is so vivid right now. Is you got Punk and Drew, you've got the New Day, you've got Seth and Bronson, or Bronson and Braun, you've got Sammy and Gunther, Jay and Braun, you've had Sammy Braun. Like, you've had all these off feuds that aren't necessarily for a title. I know I included Braun and Gunther eventually, but still, you've got other things. In the women's division, they're running an angle where Chelsea Green stinks.
There's only so much TV time you can get out.
Exactly. And, you know, I hate to say it, there's just a cap on women's wrestlers, and most of them don't reach the Rhea Bianca level. And if you give me Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania, I'll watch it just like I'll watch anything else. But if you give me Scarlett versus
Paxton,
I'm not watching this.
You know, it's crazy that they have no credible contenders, and we have not gotten Rhea versus Bianca yet. Like, that's crazy to me. How they kept these two separate.
That's the big one. And it's looking like we're not even going to get that for Mania, because I thought they're going to go Jade Bianca.
Do you bring back Becky Lynch to feud with Liv?
But we saw that already this year. I'm sick of Becky.
Hey,
and she's been gone.
I'm about to say, she ain't been seen, bro.
I don't know. I don't know where they go. I'd hate to be in the Booker seat for this one. But, bad match that really did not have a good finish. And I say all this, I know we're dragging this now. In the arena, solid pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah. But it was bookended by the main event, which was a really, really good match, and the opener, which was the best WWE match of this year. Yeah. So, if you take those matches away from this card, man, this is a pitiful card. Pitiful card.
If they had added like one more, and in the middle they had maybe Sammy Gunther, I think this would have been it was a good pay-per-view, but I think that would have been like really good for the strength of this card, because it goes so down in the middle.
Like, can you imagine how the pay-per-view or the PLE would have looked if we would have added ladder match and took away the Bayley Nia Jax match?
Yeah. Or the Damian Finn match.
Oh, yeah.
So I agree. Definitely some of the decisions are questionable, but we've arrived at the main event. Two huge entrances for Cody and Roman. Which did you see the clip of the Roman?
People pretending to play the instruments.
Why did they even have them out there?
For the aura.
Okay, well,
I don't know, man.
You got me there, man. I don't have a claim.
Okay. Did you see the guys in the Cody entrance? It was the band from Arkansas, Pine Bluff, I think. They were off key with Cody Rhodes' song, and they had to restart it. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that. People were dogging them online, but they sounded fine to me. Go ahead.
You remember live in the building? They restarted the theme.
Oh, okay. I do remember that, but I didn't know why they restarted it.
Apparently, the band was off key, or it cut the music and start again. It sounded pretty good in the arena, but when you watch the clip back, it was they were a little off.
That's what everybody was saying. Like, man, they're trash, or whatever. But I guess just because we were so far, and it was like, I guess just kind of reverberating throughout the arena. I didn't think it was that bad. So I don't know.
Some people were saying that they don't think that the band practiced their song or something. Like, they were dogging.
Oh God. Well,
yeah,
that's kind of uncomfortable, especially when you're going to be on national television, or national PLE. Sorry.
There you go.
But Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa. That's a new one. And Jacob Fatu. They took 30 minutes just to freaking lock up. I went and got my drink and came back and nothing had happened. I was like,
well,
has anything happened?
Stuff's happened, man. Shot each other looks and they circled each other. I mean, you got This Is Awesome chance just like that.
I have to admit, this should have went on first.
No way. I gotta stop you right there. No way this should have. The biggest reaction, the biggest surprise of the night should never go on first. Never. Can you imagine CM Punk would have showed up first at Survivor Series?
Yeah. This match was good and I enjoyed it. But if I'm going to be real honest with you, I don't remember a single thing about it until Jay shows up. Or Jimmy.
You remember when Roman Reigns hit that crucifix pin?
Okay, I do remember that. Because we both were like, the crucifix?
There you go. Yeah, man, I liked the match. I thought it was good.
Maybe I need to rewatch it.
Yeah, and the aura, man. I know we use aura a lot in this podcast, but the electricity in the arena, the feeling, you could cut the tension in the air with a knife, especially when Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns were in the same ring.
Yeah,
that just felt big time.
And Jacob did look good.
Oh, man, the moonsault he hit. First time I seen Jacob Fatu live, by the way. The moonsault from a guy that size, it looks like it shouldn't be possible, but he just makes it look so effortless.
Yeah, and
Roman was. Go ahead.
I was gonna say he got one on Roman, Roman he was struggling with him, which is more than Roman really has to do for anybody.
Yeah, it felt big time, bro. It felt like that's a future main event WrestleMania waiting to happen.
So, obviously, Jimmy gets involved.
He came out with a hoodie on. Haven't we done this before? We know it's you, bro.
8 million times we've done this before.
Yeah. He hit under the ring, so I don't know when he got there.
I didn't see him come out from under the ring when we were there. I
Yeah.
just like looked down and he was standing there. And then he kept standing there. He stood there for like 2 minutes before they turned around.
Did you think it was Rock? I was like, surely that
Nah.
not with that build. That's not.
Look, I like the Rock. Rock was not gonna make an entrance like that. It was gonna be big time, exactly how it was.
Yeah.
So whenever Jimmy came out and did that big reveal or whatever, I remember as they were going to the finish, was like, certainly this can't be the finish because I was expecting Rock to get involved. Nah, it was the finish. And then I was sour because it hung on for a long time before Rock came out. I thought for sure Rock was not coming and Jimmy was the surprise.
Well, are you new here, Micah? You know the Bloodline shenanigans take forever to unwind and unfold. I thought they were off the air.
I did too. I was pissed. I was waiting on The Rock to come out.
But I had faith, man. I had faith.
Well, I was preparing to tell you, like literally about to turn and tell you, if Rock doesn't show tonight, I'm done trying to chase him because we went to Tampa to see him, and then he comes to Birmingham, and then he didn't come to Atlanta. And I kid you not, as I was like preparing to say that, I was pleasantly surprised as the final boss music hit. And there's a video out there. I'm sure you may see it one day. And me and Ryan went ballistic. The electricity.
Oh, man, you can feel it.
The mana.
Goosebumps.
The Terramana. That was flowing after.
All right. Oh, yeah, he did take a few sweets.
He said, dang, that's good. So The Rock comes out, does his 1, 2, 3. We don't quite know what that means yet, but
A lot of things.
Isn't it crazy that The Rock at this age, at this really, like, I guess, lack of being on TV, yet being involved in the feud, can still get the biggest pop of the night?
And can still take CM Punk's main event.
Yeah, that too.
13 years later, it don't matter.
Hey, you're the one vouching for that, not me.
It's tough, man, because those are my two top guys of all time. But I you had to do this. You had to have this at the last possible match. The last thing you need to see is The Rock, because that's the biggest thing that people are gonna be talking about is The Rock. So it would have overshadowed anything Punk did, regardless.
I mean, you're right. I don't like that you're right.
Okay.
It just wouldn't have felt right to have The Rock in the middle of the show. I get that. But the match on this card was Punk and Drew. Yeah. And while I liked the main event, it paled in comparison to that match.
But what was the moment?
Well,
matches are one thing, but we do know that wrestling is about the moments. And what gets the most clicks online? Rock coming back. Maybe second
that is true.
Second is probably when CM Punk poured the beads in Drew McIntyre's mouth. That probably got the second most clicks. But still, though, it's not Rock coming back.
I don't know. I kind of wish that we were correct about our predictions and that Rock would have gotten physically involved. But I know they have to leave you wanting more, and we don't know Rock's involvement yet.
What do you think that was? 1, 2, 3. What do you think that is? Is that referencing a triple threat match? Is that referencing 3 strikes and you're out? Is he doing that to Cody? Is he referring that to Roman? What do you think here? What's going on here, Micah?
I think he was counting the 3 jabronis in the ring.
Okay, all
right. Honestly, I think he was counting strikes or people on his hit list because now he's got Roman, he's got Cody, and he's got Jimmy. All people going against him because I think he's aligned with Solo. And I don't know if you saw the clip floating around, but Bloodline. Solo was in the stands and he said something about like it's all a part of the plan. And so I recorded that.
Yeah, I seen that.
So I kind of think it was along the lines of, you know, these three are against me or three strikes you're out, something like that.
Can I hit you with my theory?
Go ahead.
Maybe he was doing that to Solo because I remember Solo saying that losing has consequences. And he Samoan spiked Jimmy Uso, and then that's how Jimmy got kicked out the bloodline right after WrestleMania. Solo said losing has consequences. Solo has lost to Cody Rhodes one time at SummerSlam, second time in the cage match on SmackDown, and now he's lost to Cody again in the tag match. 1, 2, 3. So are we getting Rock? Is he gonna usurp the new tribal chief in Solo Sikoa and then going to appoint a new tribal chief? 3 strikes and you're out for Solo Sikoa?
You know, I didn't think about that, but I kind of like that. You know, I gave you 3 chances. He couldn't do it. And so now I've got to step in.
Or now I appoint Jacob Fatu as my new tribal chief.
I don't know that they would do that just because I think that would kill Solo.
But you could have Solo maybe his redemption arc and rejoining the new bloodline or the OG bloodline.
Well, I guess that's true.
I mean, Jimmy Uso just got welcomed back into the OG bloodline.
Yeah. Did you see the angle they ran tonight?
I did not.
Do you want me to go ahead and spoil it for you?
Yeah, come on, because we're not going to review that show.
Gotcha. So Roman and Jimmy basically just get outnumbered. And Jimmy mouths to Roman, "We need Jay."
The IC champion.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this is still leading to War Games Survivor Series.
Okay.
So
I can see it. Yeah.
You've got Solo, Jacob, the Tongans. You've got Roman, Jay, Jimmy, and Cody.
Well, Cody's, I assume, is going to be feuding with KO, right?
That's right. So who's your 4th man? Sammy?
Wait a minute. Whoa. Jimmy, Jay, and Roman. And then you got, dang, it's tough, man. Because I don't think Sammy, because he's completely separate from this thing right now. We'll see what they do on Monday, but I don't think we're getting a Sammy Zayn reunion back to the bloodline. It doesn't seem like that's where they're going.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's very interesting. And if they're going to do that, does Rock get involved in the War Games, helping Solo? Like, I don't know. It's so dumb, but it's so masterful at the same time. We've been reviewing this Bloodline thing for 2 years now, and there's still so much to do.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Can you imagine the compilation video that the Bloodline is going to have at the end of this feud?
When does it end? Like, realistically, 2026?
I guess when the Bloodline's over.
They just all have to die.
It could go on forever. No, because they have kids, Micah.
Oh, God.
It could go on forever. I don't know.
Yeah, and 20 years from now, the whole WWE is just going to be one giant Bloodline angle.
Just add Bloodline to the weekly roundup of shows. Like, just put the Bloodline as its own show.
I mean, Not entirely, but like it's crazy that this storyline has gone on this long and it's kind of making stars beside it. Sammy, Cody,
Solo, Jacob.
Yeah. I don't know. When all said and done, and hopefully we're still doing the podcast then, we need to have a real discussion about where this ranks all time on greatest storylines, because it's definitely got to be up there, and it'll especially... It depends on how it finishes, but just the sheer, like, length and the revival of the wrestling industry that this has caused is insane.
Yeah.
But Ryan, Bad Blood out of 10, what you got?
Give it a 7.3, man. I love that opener. Love the main event. Love the Rock coming out, which Rock is still my number one guy, man. Rock is my favorite of all time. Big, huge smile on my face when we got the music, the final boss came out, and it just checks off my bucket list of being a wrestling fan. To see Dwayne Johnson live. So yeah, man. 7. You know what? I might bump it up to an 8, man. I just talked myself into it. I'm going 8 out of 10. We were there live. Moment I'll never forget. Yeah, I'm gonna go 8.2, man. 8.2 final score.
I'm gonna go... I'm gonna say 7.8.
All right.
In the middle, absolutely not a good show. But you know what we remember in life? The highs.
Yeah, the highs, yeah.
And what will I always remember? I saw Punk and Drew in a cell, and I saw The Rock. And I never in my life thought that I would get to see The Rock. And I don't care if he just came out and hit a 1, 2, 3. The feeling and like the video that you have of The Rock coming out is something that I will never forget, because I thought that it was over and he wasn't coming. And I don't know, man. It's just... Plus, it helps that we were there. Had I watched this on TV, that probably would have been one thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree.
But honestly, it then becomes really, what do I rank the entire trip? And I had a great time. Probably the easiest journey we've had to a trip. So, I don't know, man. All in all, I got to give it a 7.8. I really enjoyed it. And Punk and Drew is probably my match of the year.
Yeah, and we talked about it before, last podcast. We were debating, is this feud of the year for both companies? And you said, oh, well, I need to see how they end this feud in this last match. So is it getting your feud of the year, Micah? Or we're going to have to wait to the Scoop Slam Awards at the end of the year to find out?
I think the listeners are just going to have to join us for the Scoopies at the end of the year to find out what gets my feud of the year.
Okay. All right.
So you'll have to come back in December, late December. But we're not done just yet. We got one more thing to go over. We are running pretty long on this one, though. But we're having a good time. But we're going to go ahead and hit these real fast. Wrestle Dream is this weekend. So next week we'll come back with that. We're going to skip the weekly stuff for these 2 weeks. Just because... Hey, man, pay-per-views are a lot, and they got a 12-match card for this. 3 of them are on the pre-show. So let's go ahead, Ryan, get those predictions out of the way. We got Mark Briscoe versus Chris Jericho for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
Well, Mark in this, I don't think... Well, yeah, Jericho won the title before, so I'll go Mark for the win.
Yeah, I don't think Jericho is hot enough, and despite what people believe, because he is insistent on pushing him. I think Tony realizes that people don't like Jericho. So Mark for the win. Darby Allin versus Brody King.
That's Darby.
Yeah. Darby. But this is just a singles match. So what are they going to do?
It's just not going to be a single match. match. We're going to get chairs. We're going to get tables. And they're going to say, well, the referee's being a little more lenient right here. I can hear Excalibur in my head right now. I just picture it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Darby, and I also predict weapons. Jack Perry versus the Turkey Leg, Katsuyori Shibata for the AEW TNT Championship.
You got Scapegoat. He's going to overcome the girth and tonnage of Shibata's Turkey Leg.
Thank you, Skip Bayless. Scapegoat. This is looking like a very predictable card. Will Ospreay versus Ricochet versus Konosuke Takeshita. That's a lot of cliches in that. AEW International Championship triple threat match.
I got Takeshita. Finally winning.
Yeah.
I can see a run in here. They've been building. I don't know if you've been following along on the weekly shows, Michael, but they've been building something with old Willie Boy and his longtime friend. God, what's that jabroni, the tall guy, the blonde guy?
Kyle Fletcher.
They've been building something with him. He's looking conflicted, doesn't know what to do. I can see him bringing a screwdriver, stabbing Will, and then Will get pinned by Takeshita.
Yeah, but he's not Kobe Bryant with it.
I don't think anybody's Kobe Bryant with it except old Ricochet.
I'm gonna take Takeshita. Maybe that's
no. I'm expecting you to disagree.
Maybe that's just me wishing it would happen because I think he's the best wrestler probably in this entire match, or probably on the entire card. Following that, AEW World Tag Team Championship, the Young Bucks versus Private Party.
I can't take Private Party serious when they got jabroned by John Moxley 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Bucks.
I don't want to watch it. Can I skip this one?
Well, seeing that Orange Cassidy's not on the card, this can be the Orange Cassidy spot.
Okay. All right.
Actually, never mind. The Young Bucks are in this match. This is just the Young Bucks spot. What am I kidding? I'm gonna say Bucks. I highly doubt they lose to Private Party. For the AEW Women's World Championship, Mariah May versus Willow Nightingale.
Remember how they were hyping up Mariah May and Toni Storm as the best women's feud of the year? And it had so much momentum behind it, and then Mariah May got the title, and they haven't done anything with it.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you one thing she's done.
Didn't Willow lose to Statlander at the last PLE or pay-per-view?
Yes. Listen to how backwards this is. So Willow feuded with Mercedes. Willow the babyface feuded with Mercedes with Statlander in her corner. Willow loses the belt. Statlander turns on Willow. They have a feud. Statlander wins it. Turns babyface to face Mercedes.
But she doesn't even turn babyface. She starts attacking Mercedes.
No. She turned babyface because she's blaming Mercedes for splitting her and Willow up, and she got rid of Stokely.
Off screen, by the way.
Yeah. So she's just a babyface again because CEO is the heel. And then Willow gets the match for the world title, and Statlander, who just won the feud, gets the mid-card belt. Not even on the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
How do you write this on paper and say, yes, this makes sense?
Cinema, pal. What are you, a Fed shield?
I must be Booker of the Year, ladies and gentlemen.
What happened to the girl that returned and went at Wembley that everybody was crying about, wanting her to come back?
Jamie Hayter?
What happened to her?
She was in a match on Dynamite, and I don't think she won. I think Willow won.
Okay.
Hangman Adam Page versus Jay White, greatest heel in the business.
So then a lose-lose situation here because both guys need a win. So I don't know what to do here.
I think they go Hangman, which
That'd be hilarious.
again,
I hope they do.
oh come on, Jay doesn't deserve that.
Are you sure?
Well, oh god, I hope this is the order of how this is going. I highly doubt it is. Hologram versus the Beast Mortos. This is on the main card, and as it's listed on Wikipedia, this is the co-main.
Okay, so I think Swerve is having a. They said Swerve returns at Wrestle Dream, so apparently he's gonna have like talk show segment. So I think that's where we see old Bobby Lashley during that segment.
Okay.
So hopefully Hologram and the Beast Mortos or whoever's in this match is nowhere near the main event scene. I hope they bump this to the pre-show. I'll go Hologram because that is Tony's pet project. That's his childhood character that he created when he was booking his E-Fed in his basement. And I feel like Hologram's going to go on a Goldberg-like streak now, Mike.
Is that real? Like, this is a character he had when he was a kid?
Oh, you didn't see this? You didn't see that story?
No.
Yes. So this is something that Tony Khan booked when he was a kid. And he finally got somebody to play the character. So he's booking the Hologram as like he was his Goldberg. Yeah.
This is a 2 out of 3 falls match. I'm going to go Hologram, even though the Beast Mortos looks like he could eat Hologram.
Have you ever watched a match of Holograms?
No.
He does the same thing Commander does, or Jurlistico does, or Ricochet does. He does all that stuff. Does the superhero pose, does the 630 splashes. He does it all, man.
Well, I'm sure the people love him. I'll witness him live. Well, not live and in living color, but
they do not love him. They are indifferent on him.
Well, I mean, how could you be into a guy named Hologram? You can't see him. Anyways, moving on. Main event, AEW World Championship, Bryan Danielson versus Jon Moxley.
This is Daniel Bryan's last full-time match on the AEW roster. He's going to be part-time after this. He's losing this match to Dean. I got a feeling that we're going to see a new member of the Blackpool Combat Club, wherever they call themselves. I feel like they're going to bring in Sami Callihan here.
Really?
So apparently what's been going around online, Micah, is Dean, I keep saying call him Dean, Jon Moxley trademarked Sami Callihan and Jon Moxley's former tag name. He trademarked it, which escapes me at the moment. So it seems like we're going to get Sami Callihan back with Jon Moxley, and they're going to go by their former team name.
And
I think that's the big surprise.
And this is for sure Danielson's last match?
Yeah, he said if he loses the title, then he will no longer be a full-time member of the roster.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that. I just thought that, like, I thought that he maybe said that, like, this was going to be his last match no matter what. And I was like, what the?
No. He said when he loses this match, he'll be part-time at that point, which he probably would never fully retire. But I still think that the Shane McMahon thing is not going to happen. I think that we're getting Sami Callihan, because Moxley's been saying on his promos, oh, you have no idea what you have unleashed upon the place. So it just seems like we're getting another supposedly tough guy to add to the neo-Nazi gimmick that Moxley's doing right now.
Neo-Moxley.
Neo-Moxley. There you go.
Well,
would it make any sense if Shane showed up? I don't think that makes any sense. Now, if he showed up for like Young Bucks, that would probably make sense, but
Yeah, not anymore. Especially like I just don't see how the two would make sense. And kind of after watching that documentary, I don't think Shane would do something like that. But I don't know. They've had talks because people posted online, so we shall see. I'm going to take Danielson here, believe it or not.
Okay.
I think it's early in his reign. I don't think they split it up too yet. Boy, it's getting late, and we have been on the call for a while. So,
All right. Wrap it up.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. We hope you have a good rest of your week. We hope you enjoy Wrestle Dream, and we hope we enjoyed Wrestle Dream. But if you want to know how we feel about it, make sure to come back. Link in the bio. Get all your sports merch. Hopefully, Alabama can avenge their loss. And hopefully AEW can put on a good pay-per-view tomorrow. I think one of those things will be true. But we'll have to come back and talk about it next week. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. Have a good one.